Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Now, as some of y'all can see on my clock back here, it's 6:20. And you're saying to yourself, Mr. Gosho, you're waking up so early. Well, I'm up. I skipped the waking up part. Raise your hands if some of y'all's sleep cycles are a little bit off during the quarantine. I bet some of y'all actually raised your hands. I can't actually see you on YouTube. And I bet some of you are like, you didn't get me. I'm going to need a few more of these today. So on to your lessons. Today's court case, you're going to be learning about burning an American flag. I hope that's not your thing, but hey, you have the right to do so. Also, don't burn things in protest, because you had to have bought it before you burn it. There's a lot of videos on YouTube of people being upset with companies like Nike. People just get mad at Nike a lot for some reason, and they burn their shoes. $400 shoes, by the way. One good thing about this court case is that the court ruled that you can't be arrested if you offend somebody. Certain freedoms of speech that you can use will offend people, but they should be said in protest. Take Martin Luther King as an example, and not this guy who burns American flags. Tomorrow's court case is Plessy v. Ferguson. In review, that's the court case where the black gentleman, or 1/8 black gentleman, rode on the white cart on the train, and they made him move, and then he sued. The federal judges ruled that the government is powerless to make people like each other or different races interact, and so they created the separate but equal clause. They said that there's nothing unconstitutional about separating people based on race as long as they are both treated equally. The South nailed the separate part, but didn't do so good with the equal part. Wednesday's court case is Miranda versus Arizona. In this court case, Miranda admitted to the crimes he was accused of. However, he appealed because he didn't know his rights after he broke the law. This is why if you get arrested, which hopefully will never happen, the police officer will tell you you have the right to remain silent and then paraphrase the Fifth Amendment. These are called the Miranda rights, which I wonder if Miranda ever put he started the Miranda rights on his resume. Cup number 2, putting down the green tea, moving on to black tea. It's going to be a rough day. It's only 7 o'clock. Thursday, Korematsu versus the United States. He just sued everybody. Context. During World War II, Roosevelt decided that we should take every Japanese American citizen and put them in an internment camp. And no, I didn't make that up. I guess we've grown up a little bit. So when Mr. Korematsu was asked to move to the internment camp, he said no and was arrested. And this coming from the same country that even though they have mandatory lockdowns during global pandemics, no one listens. I went to go pick up some groceries from Kroger pickup line, and I was there 4 hours. There was more traffic in a global pandemic than I've ever seen in Alexandria. I saw one man walk to Wendy's wearing a mask and gloves and came back drinking a large drink through a straw through his mask. He then proceeded to eat a burger with a mask on. The mask was covering this much of his face, but at least he still had his gloves on. We would arrest people for not being forced into internment camps, but now we just suggest people stay home during a pandemic. I guess America's grown up. We used to be so strict on everybody, but now we've become lenient. Also, I'm aware I'm part of the problem because I did go get groceries when I was supposed to stay home, but that's all I've done. Friday court case is Brown versus Board of Education. Should sound familiar because we've went over it, and it's also one of the most important court cases in American history. This was the court case where the girl had to walk across town, that would be through a railroad depot and across the bad part of town, in order to go to her school, even though she was right next to the white school. There was 4 other court cases combined with this, but the federal judges ruled that it was unconstitutional to separate blacks and white in the public school system. If you've ever looked around a classroom and noticed someone has a different skin tone than you, it is because of Brown versus Board of Education. It seems strange to think there was a time when that didn't exist, but I can seriously say that this is something our country has greatly improved on. Brown versus Board of Education is one of the many reasons I'm proud to call myself an American. Offering education to all and offering it equally is one of the best things our country has done for its citizens. I want to take some time and thank y'all, the ones who are doing these assignments. There's not many of you who are, but the ones who are, you're a great example. Working when it's not required of you shows a lot about your character. Hard work is what separates those who are successful and those who wish they were a little bit more successful. Keep it up and keep being leaders. And those of you who are just seeing this for the first time, this may be your first assignment, and you say, hey, I want to be a leader. Well, do your work and be a leader.
Do your work.